Veterans' voices matter to us here on Fox 40. They're the most iconic representation of teamwork and skill the United States Navy and Marine Corps have to offer. Today, we're introducing you to Commander Frank Weisser, a former two-time Blue Angels pilot who flew combat missions over Iraq and Afghanistan. He also made his box office debut as a stunt pilot in Top Gun Maverick. Listen as he talks with me about some of his adventures from his new book called Lead Solo.
Few can say they've taken a couple of spins in an F-18 Super Hornet with a Blue Angel. Even less can say they've become one, not once, but twice. For U.S. Navy Commander Frank Weisser, flying like an angel was a way of life.
What does the term lead solo mean?
We have two solo pilots that demonstrate the max performance capabilities. How fast can it go? How many G's can it pull? How fast can it climb? That sort of thing. And that was the position that I was flying in on the Blue Angels. The first flight of the Blue Angels was a little overwhelming because we wear different things. The aircraft is more powerful because they don't have any of the weapon systems in it. So you feel like you're in a rocket ship. The flying is great, there's no question about it. But the mission matters. Hiring and finding the best and brightest young men and women out there in the crowd line and inspiring them and motivating them to perhaps have a life of service, that becomes a really powerful part of the mission. And my first year, I had the job of number 7, the narrator and the VIP pilot. So the flight that you had this year was one I gave as well to hundreds of people. And it was such an exciting job to have. But we don't sell the rides. We give them to people who can positively reinforce what we're doing as a team.
No doubt I was screaming my head off pretty much a majority of the time. But, little bragging rights, I did not pass out. And I did not get sick.
Women do much better under high G's than men. You know, we use the term G monster. If you can sustain a lot of G's, there's a level of toughness associated. And in general, women do much better.
There you go. There it is right there.
Throughout his decorated years in the cockpit of a fighter jet, Commander Weisser accumulated more than 5,000 flight hours, 500 carrier landings. He even flew 34 combat missions in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom.
What are the emotions that you're feeling inside of that plane?
For us, we were the night carrier. So we flew over the course of 6 months. I'd say probably 80 to 90% of my flights were at night. When you're off an aircraft carrier in the North Arabian Sea, there's nothing for hundreds of miles. Unless you feel yourself light in your seat, you don't even know if you're right side up or upside down sometimes, because it's just so disorienting because the darkness is so intense. You are rapidly checking inside, making sure you're the right altitude, the right airspeed, the right angle, and then looking outside, what's my separation, looking at my cameras, am I getting ready to prosecute a target, and then going back to each of those things in order and doing it really, really fast. One of my more scary events airborne was a time when I was hypoxic at night off the aircraft carrier, and I recount that story in the book. And there's no doubt in my mind that if it weren't for the incredible people I was flying with in that moment, that I would not be here right now.
Not only was he the Navy star, but Commander Weisser became a Hollywood star behind the scenes of the Oscar-nominated film Top Gun Maverick. You'll find him flying in amazing scenes like this one, but not this one.
They could do CGI, they could throw all that in there. But, they called you in because they must have known that this is the guy that we need. We
weren't faking anything. We were doing it for real. I flew in the canyon scene where Maverick borrows the aircraft halfway through the movie to show that it can be done. Tom and I flew that together. Tom Cruise was adamant that a few of the scenes be at really low altitude, 10 or 20 feet. But the Blue Angels do it all the time. What the actors did was they acted while they were under 7 Gs. And that takes a lot of effort. It's hard enough to do what they're doing, but now they're doing it while inverted or under heavy Gs or at a high rate of speed. And they're also directing the pilot to get the lighting right. And it was an incredible time. Just to be around that operation was really awesome, to see how professional they were, how focused they were, how driven they were. To me, it felt like a military team.
Read more about Commander Weisser's time in Top Gun and with the famous Blue Angels in his book Lead Solo, Learning Life Specters from an F-18 Blue Angel Aviator today. He says this book right here is dedicated to all his fellow pilots and airmen serving overseas.